BattleCommand is a war simulation game with a difference, as it incorporates both strategic and tactical aspects in its mode of play. Imagine, as an example, that you sit down around a Risk board, or any similar board game. However, when an invasion occurs, rather than just rolling the dice, you take out a copy of Memoir 44, or some other game which simulates tactical combat. Now, this is a pretty rough explanation, but essentially sums up to what makes BattleCommand unique. The game begins with players drawing a card for the power they'll be playing, either the UK, France, Russia, America, Germany, or Italy, which will have a primary and secondary goal on it. The secondary goal is usually a location which must be held, while fulfilling the primary goal, usually more significant capture. It's at this point that we see some of the game's nods to historical accuracy, such as the fact that should Italy lose 2 consecutive battles, the German player may take control of the Italian forces until they themselves win 2 consecutive battles. Another nod to historical accuracy is the various points at which Allied powers become playable. By default, Russia and the USA are not in the game to begin with, coming in the 5th turn, or in Russia's case, if they are attacked. However, it is possible to bring them in earlier. In this case, some concession towards rebalancing is made. For instance, the German player takes control of some of the resources previously held by Russia, reflecting a provocation that has already occurred. The main mode of play is in the strategic map, which is a map of Europe circa 1939. The map is designed so that it props up inside the game box with colored pins that can be inserted into the board to show which territories are held by which power. I found this added quite a lot to the atmosphere of the game. Player turns move around the table, starting with Germany, who get to move and attack in the first turn, a liberty not afforded to other players. This is another nod to historical accuracy in this game. Everyone gains a certain number of resource points defined by how much territory they hold. They then draw a resource card, which can either let them gain resources or let them discover enemy objectives, or may elicit a number of other effects. The player may then choose to invade a country. The resource mechanic is another unique feature of this game, as it is of utmost importance to the operation. Declaring invasions in the strategic element of the game costs you resource points. However, there are also costs in the tactical element. For every shot fired, there is a cost, and for every enemy movement, there is a cost. This represents very well the fact that historically such wars were often won and lost on supplies. It wasn't how good your guns or tanks were that mattered, it was whether or not you had enough gas and bullets. This is, to my knowledge, a relatively unique approach, and one which I found worked quite well.